Sometimes They Come Back was a short story from Night Shift that I think is one of King's darkest and most grim short stories. It involves this guy Jim, who's an English teacher. When he was a kid, his older brother Wayne was killed by these greaser assholes. The greasers later died themselves in a car crash. Well, sometimes when dead souls feel they have unfinished business on Earth, sometimes they come back. So these greasers come back years later, and they start killing kids in Jim's class. For everyone they kill, another one of them comes back. When they're all back, they kill Jim's wife. Jim winds up performing a satanic ritual that summons a demon. The demon agrees to get rid of these ghosts in return for a sacrifice, one of Jim's fingers. Although he wins in the end, the demon, which took the guise of his dead brother, is suggested to be a problem itself, giving the story a sort of the cure is worse than the disease ending. The film version was originally going to be a segment in the anthology film Cat's Eye, which featured several King stories. Sorry guys, I'm not covering that one in this feature. Maybe next time. Anyway, it was decided it was too strong to be just a segment and wound up becoming its own film, albeit a made-for-TV film. This movie is really good, actually. It's one of my favorite adaptations of a King short story, and one of the few times when I prefer the movie over the original story. The film is quite a bit less dark. There's no demonic ritual, Jim's wife doesn't die, and it has an ending that gives more closure and isn't as grim. In the story, I found the main character to be really unlikable. I mean, this guy is being haunted by evil ghosts, so he goes ahead and summons something much worse to get rid of them. What an ass. In the movie, though, I found the character to be much more sympathetic. There's also a bit of a change where one of the greasers didn't die and lives on to regret the whole incident. In the end, he winds up sacrificing himself so Jim's brother Wayne could come back and help him get rid of the ghosts. The ending is actually quite sentimental, aided by the fact that the actors involved all did really good jobs, which is surprising, as only one of them I ever heard of was Tim Matheson, who plays Jim. And I really only knew him as that guy that was in Animal House. I also like the story arc with Chip, this one jock in one of Jim's classes. He comes off as a real asshole at first, but when these ghosts show up in the class, it makes Chip's brand of general buffoonery pale in comparison. At first you think Chip is a real dickhead, but in the end he's just a dumb kid who wants to play football and isn't that interested in school, something a lot of people could easily relate to. But these other guys are pure evil and stone-cold killers. The movie is fleshed out really well, and I especially like the scene with the ghost of Jim's brother Wayne, who sees Jim's son and assumes it's him. My only complaint about the movie is an added subplot with Jim having lost a teaching job some time ago, where he lost his temper with a student and went berserk. It seems like they were borrowing from the Jack Torrance character from The Shining. Well, other than that, though, sometimes they come back as a real treat. Although it's a TV movie, it's quite a lot better than a lot of theatrical Stephen King movies, and I enjoy it more than the short story. It's got 2 sequels which were released on video. Sometimes they come back again, and sometimes they come back for more. Although I think these are conceptual sequels, and they don't really follow the plot of the original. Anyway, I can't recommend this enough. I give it an 8 out of a possible 10.